My name is Elena. I am 34 years old. I am a teacher at a primary school in Norwich, England. I have been married to Daniel for 9 years. He is a quiet, thoughtful man who works as an engineer. People always say he is the kind of man who listens more than he speaks. They are right. He listens. He forgives and he trusts me completely. But I have been keeping something from him for almost 10 years. I didn't mean to lie. I didn't plan for my life to turn out this way. But sometimes one mistake becomes many, and then it becomes your whole truth. Before I met Daniel, I was in love with someone else. His name was Ray. We met during my last year at university. He had a big love and wild ideas. He wasn't like the quiet, careful people I grew up with. Ray was exciting. He wanted to open his own business, travel the world, live without rules. I loved him for that. He made me feel free. We were together for 2 years. We dreamed about moving to Manchester and starting a new life together. But my family didn't like him. His parents didn't like me either. They said we were too different. Different beliefs, different goals, different everything. I tried to fight for our relationship, but Ray changed. He became distant. Then one day, he was gone. He left without a word. I tried calling, but his number didn't work. I sent messages, emails, nothing came back. I thought my heart had stopped beating. Then a few weeks after Ray disappeared, I found out I was pregnant. I sat on the bathroom floor with the test in my hand, shaking. My parents would never accept a child from a man they didn't like. I didn't know where Ray was. I didn't even know if he would want the baby, so I stayed quiet. I cried for a few days and then tried to move on. That's when Daniel came into my life. He was kind and calm, the opposite of Ray. We met through a family friend at a dinner party. I didn't tell him I was pregnant. I didn't tell anyone. I was scared. But Daniel liked me. He started visiting often, bringing small gifts, asking about my day. I didn't love him, not then, but he felt safe. When he asked me to marry him, I said yes. I told myself I could learn to love him. I thought maybe love wasn't always about passion. Maybe it could be about kindness too. We got married quickly. I told Daniel that the baby was his. He believed me. He was so happy. When Leo was born, he held him like he had waited for that moment all his life. "He's perfect," he said. "He's ours." I wanted to scream the truth, but I couldn't. I watched him change nappies, make bottles, stay awake all night just to rock Leo back to sleep. Every day he gave his heart to that boy. Every day I kept my secret. As Leo grew, I saw pieces of Ray in him. His dark hair, his sharp chin, the way he smiled when he got what he wanted. Daniel didn't notice. He thought Leo looked like me, and maybe he did a little, but I knew the truth. Every time Daniel kissed Leo's head or called him my little man, it hurt. I knew that love was built on my lie. Years passed. We became a normal family. We went to the park on Sundays. We took photos at the beach. We celebrated birthdays with chocolate cake and balloons. Daniel never doubted anything. He was a good husband even when I didn't deserve him, and I was a good mother. I think I tried my best, but the guilt never left me. One day, everything changed. It was a Saturday. Leo had a school football match, and Daniel and I were both there. We cheered and clapped as he ran across the field. Then, without warning, he collapsed. He fell to the ground and didn't move. The coach ran. I screamed. Daniel rushed to our son and held him. An ambulance came and we followed it to the hospital. The doctors said Leo needed blood quickly. They checked Daniel's blood type first. He agreed right away, but later the doctor returned with a strange look. "Are you sure you're the father?" he asked. Daniel stared at him. I froze. My hands were cold. The doctor explained that the blood types didn't match. He said it was medically impossible. Daniel didn't say a word. He just sat in the chair, staring at the floor. That night, I told him everything. I told him about Ray, about how I found out I was pregnant, about why I lied. I cried the whole time. Daniel didn't stop me. When I was done, he stood up and walked into Leo's hospital room. He didn't say anything to me. Daniel's reaction to the revelation is complex. He is shocked, hurt, and confused. He doesn't know how to process the information that Leo isn't his biological son. He's been a devoted father to Leo for years, and the thought of not being his biological father doesn't change his feelings towards him. Daniel looked at me with a mix of sadness and anger. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Why did you keep the secret from me for so long?" I broke down in tears, feeling guilty and ashamed. "I was scared," I said. "I didn't know what would happen if you found out. I was afraid of losing you and Leo." Daniel took a deep breath and tried to process his emotions. He looked at Leo, who was still in the hospital bed, and felt a surge of love and protectiveness towards him. He realized that his love for Leo wasn't based on biology, but on the bond they had formed over the years. "I need some time to think," Daniel said to me. "I need to figure out what this means for us and for our family." I nodded, understanding that Daniel needed space. I knew that I had hurt him deeply, and it would take time for him to forgive me. As Daniel sat in the hospital room, holding Leo's hand and looking at his son's face, he realized that he loved him more than anything. He didn't care about the biology. He cared about the boy he had raised and loved for years. "What do we do now?" I asked Daniel when he finally talked to me again. Daniel looked at me, his eyes filled with a mix of sadness and determination. "We'll face this together," he said. "We'll figure out what's best for Leo and for our family. But I need you to promise me one thing." "What's that?" I asked. "I need you to promise me that you'll be honest with me from now on," Daniel said. "No more secrets, no more lies. Can you do that for me?" I nodded. Tears streamed down my face. "I promise," I said. "I'll do whatever it takes to make things right." As we navigate this challenging time, our relationship was put to the test. We'll have to work through our emotions and figure out what's best for our family. But one thing is certain, we'll face it together as a family.